Hey everyone, just wanted to give you a heads up. This is a bit of a different episode. If you're a long-time listener, you probably remember Ryan Sanders, who was co-host on a number of episodes going back the past few years. Unfortunately, Ryan's job means he's not usually available on our regular recording nights anymore, so he hasn't been on the show in a while. But this is an episode he did as the sole host, so I wasn't actually on it, and he co-hosted with Tony from Union Stockyards. They've done a few episodes of Witchpolice together, and this time, they talked to local punk duo Mobina Galore. Now, we had Mobina Galore on the show a number of years ago, and at that point, they were just starting to generate some buzz. Fast forward to now, and they're playing massive tours all over Europe and Canada and the US, opening for huge bands, getting tons of critical acclaim. So it was very cool that we could have them back on the podcast again. I'm just a little bit bummed out that I couldn't be there myself. But if you've listened to Ryan and Tony's episodes in the past, you probably have a good idea of what to expect. It's a little looser and more drunken than my usual episodes, but they're definitely able to get good conversation out of the people they interview. So hopefully in future, we can have Ryan on the show more often. He's been a big part of Witchpolice Radio for the past number of years, and he definitely brings something to the show that I don't. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by our friends at the Park Theatre. Please visit myparktheatre.com to check out all the great shows they have coming up.
Thank you to everyone who supports my dad's show. If you'd like to support Witchpolice Radio, go to patreon.com/witchpolice today.
You're listening to Garbage Hill, Winnipeg's first podcast network.
Welcome to another episode of Witchpolice Radio. Unorthodox setup yet again. I will be doing the hosting duties. Ryan, with me is my trusty friend.
Not even sidekick.
No, I don't even get status. No, well, Tony is far more than a sidekick. Tony saw me from getting... Oh, Tony, introduce yourself.
I'm Tony.
Yeah, he saw me from getting beat up in high school a lot. So we're here with Mobina Galore. Names, jobs.
My name is Marzia. I drum in the band. I don't have another job other than sitting on the couch watching SVU all day.
Yeah, I'm Jenna and I sing and play guitar and I do a bunch of other random shit.
Yeah, alright. But we were talking before I hit record that I actually researched some stuff for this episode. And the last time we had you on was episode 90 in the archives. We just released episode 302.
Congratulations!
Yeah, so,
well, big number, right?
I like saying we, like I had anything to fucking do with it. I've done like a handful of episodes. So Sam has, well, and I guess everyone else who's been a part of it, has been doing a lot of work. You two have been doing a shit ton of work in the meantime. Catch us up.
So, episode 91 was probably like, post first album release in 2015, and so
really
now we're here.
Since then, SVU.
Just SVU.
Just SVU.
How buffed up on SVU are you? There'll be a question period afterwards about your favorite characters.
In New York City, the dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories. Damn it, I missed! These are their sports! Sorry, I just got back from a baseball game. And I missed half of it.
Truly.
Anyways, sorry. I had a couple beers before. I didn't
Bad
drink.
night for baseball.
Oh,
You know what? It was like surprisingly not like the diamond is like the worst one. It's just all grass and like there's dips everywhere. There was no puddles. It was actually like quite nice. It was
That is nice.
surprising.
You don't want to go down and get a grounder and then
No.
catch a puddle in the face.
We tried to argue to not play ball tonight because running in grass will break your ankle, which is what happened to Mars.
I'm scared.
So we were all like pushing to not play ball tonight because not everyone has cleats. Like safety first, But
You guys wanted to hang out on Camden today, and then I didn't hear a word from you afterwards. And I
yeah,
Shitty reception.
Yeah.
In the
You've
waiting
been
room.
cursing our names until now.
They didn't call me back.
Obviously, a lot has happened in
wait, did that answer your
3
question?
years,
I don't think so.
right?
Well, lots happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant with them.
Like,
we'll get into your personal growth as well if you'd like to. I love watching you grow as a human being.
I'm a long way, Ryan.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, obviously, touring, big names, touring with, albums, all this has happened.
Yeah, I guess that's a big chunk of time. There's a lot of tours to go over if you want to start them.
Yeah, well, I mean, it doesn't have to be all of them. This isn't a slow, steady interview, but you can, like, you fill us in, like...
Against Me had to be, like, a real...
highlight of my
Huge
life, for
fucking
sure.
deal.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Against Me for sure was a highlight.
That's not even, like, a big band deal. That's, like, a life deal. That's, like, such an amazing thing to have experienced.
And I think
that tour with them.
I think one of the best things about touring with a band is like you always hope they like you, you know, like you want to, I don't know, you want to look good, you want to play good, you just want to like, you want them to like you. And we toured with them in Europe, and then they asked us to do shows with them in North America. So we're like,
obviously
like,
something went
it
right.
worked, right?
Yeah.
Like it was one of those, you're kind of like, and Mars still had, like, I think you've written songs about, like lines about just being like nervous of like the weird shit you said when we were on tour with them. You're like, I'm so embarrassed by this. I'm so embarrassed by this. Like, I said this to Laura.
I think a lot of people do. Do you guys do that? Do you just
Get, like,
say,
anxious
say
about-
stuff throughout the day and think immediately, like, why the fuck did I say that?
We shared a practice space in Propaganda. The
Right.
first day we walked in and we shared it with him, I walked up and Chris, and it's like, hi, I'm Chris. I'm like, yeah. I'm Tony. I know the fuck you are.
Yeah.
Jesus.
And did you feel embarrassed at all?
Of course,
about
I
it?
feel embarrassed for all this shit that I say.
Yeah.
I know who I'm talking to.
So me too. And as cool as I tell myself to be, I'm like, just like, don't even acknowledge, like acknowledge obviously, like politely, but then just like, don't try to be funny, like don't try extra, just like, hey, like, so good to meet you, I'm going to leave you alone now, like, but I just can't ever listen to that inner voice that says that.
I think you would probably have to be around a person like that means that much to you for like an extended period of time until you got to this comfortable, okay, we're buddies kind of scenario.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah, I guess.
Constantly trying to impress without
trying
too hard.
Trying to act casual, like popping your collar, and you're like, who the fuck
Right.
pops a collar? Shit, I'm in Europe. I'm never gonna fucking let me live this down.
Oh, man.
It was kind of the same thing with us with Strung Out. We did the Pennywise Strung Out tour and didn't meet anyone from Pennywise the whole time, which is fine. You can respect that. But Strung Out, we just like hung out in the same green room because Pennywise would be in the bus, so we just got like extra green room, which actually benefited us for sure. And just like hanging out with Strung Out, and the last show was in Winnipeg, and Mars was driving, so I had like a bit of a night, and it was great. And we're just like sitting in the green room after, and just like going back and forth with Jason, the singer of Strung Out, who's like super eccentric in his thinking and like his lyrics and everything, and just like, I wouldn't normally say this to even anyone, and I'm like devil's advocate on him. I'm like, whoa, I'm like, what am I doing here? Like, I'm talking to like this guy who a lot of people admire, and I'm like trying to counter what he's saying, and I'm like, shit, I'm like, no, you're cool, and we ended up getting in like really good conversations about it because I was like really engaging in what he was saying and kind of like really trying to get stuff out of him
Instead of what I assume would be
instead of just being like,
typical,
yes, I agree, yeah, I totally agree with everything you're saying, yeah. And it was like
I've never
pretty fun.
delved into Strung Out too deep because their fans have always turned me off, and I feel like anybody talking to them would just like be weirdly like punk bro about it all.
They have a definite dude bro.
Dude bro, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like you got a misfit
Hey,
tattoo
you're
and possibly
St.
old
James.
vegetarian shirt that doesn't mean anything anymore. You know,
You grew up in St. James with me.
that's okay. So you were thinking about the same kind of people.
That
Big
was
shout out to all our
right?
friends of St. James, of course. You know, we love you. Please
All
keep
we're
listening to
talking
the
shit
show.
about you. I hope you guys are doing good.
All the best.
All the best.
Okay,
Come apart.
Against Me, Strung Up Pennywise. Obviously, for me, the big thing was getting to see you guys Iron Sheik off of their heads.
Oh yeah.
That was that was incredible.
That was like that was the show for me. I broke my glasses. I woke up in the morning.
Shit.
Woke up in the morning. My palms were bruised from smacking the stage. Like that was really hype for me. How so obviously Against Me's up here, and for a lot of people, Pennywise, Strung Out, Iron Sheik off of their heads, someone a little bit lower. But how do you find? I don't want to call it like a mid-range tour, but touring with those I assume you shared a lot of space with those two bands while you were on the road.
Yeah,
For
they're
sure.
like super generous with their space, and they're like,
How about
they're
their
kind
weed? I feel like they give a lot of weed out.
Probably, I don't smoke weed. I don't know. Nothing against it. I just know I'm more of a boozer.
All right.
You were drinking martinis when we got in the door, so.
Yeah. They were. Both those bands are just incredibly nice, down to earth people, as you would expect them to be. They're just like the first. There's kind of like an etiquette to touring, to being the third band on a tour. So like the opening slot, not like there's like headliner, the support. I guess in that case it was kind of like a co-headline tour.
Yeah.
And then us. So this is kind of like this unwritten rule that you just kind of like stay out of their way. Sometimes you don't get a green room. Don't feel them out first. Like maybe they'll be like, oh, like do whatever you want, come join us, or maybe they'll be like standoffish and like give them their space.
Red Bull, don't
and a lot of people,
that.
or like we just need our space before the show, which I would totally respect. Like everybody has their process, right? And they've been touring for so long, like you have to have it done your way. If you need like quiet or whatever. They were just like so generous with their space, with their beers. Like we didn't have a ride or anything. They're like, I was like, hey, do you guys mind if I grab a beer? They're like, never ask us that again. Take anything you want.
They got mad at us for asking if we could have a beer.
Passing around their personal like vodka or whatever. They're just like.
Well, at the park, they were just roaming around with everyone too, right? I know the green room at the park theater is not exactly huge, but like
it was like that. It was like that everywhere.
It's pretty great compared to a lot of other.
Well, I work at the Cavern, so I've seen.
Usually the green room at Union Sound Hall.
Is that still?
Oh yeah.
That was the smallest, but we shared it with Propaganda and Warsaw, which
it was Warsaw like
it was like, oh god.
Warsaw like a 13-person band.
No.
5?
There's 4 people.
Oh, okay.
4.
In my head, there was a lot more of them.
They were on a ska band.
But
someone else.
Ska bands. Okay, give me your best ska band story.
Ska band?
Band?
You guys have not played with a ska band in the entire existence of Mobina Galore?
No.
Nary a single ska band to be found. I said Nary. Don't fucking look at me like that. You need one of these?
Sure.
I actually don't think we.
No, the closest we've come was punk rock bowling. We were just on the same. We played the same day.
Oh shit! Punk rock bowling.
That big ska band that everybody loves. That we
not interrupters.
Interrupters.
But it's like
newer project,
like,
right? Like possibly
not
on Hellcat, or if that's still been a label.
Do you have a label still?
I don't know. But yeah, I see them doing like a lot of the NoFX tours and shows with Rancid and stuff. Yeah. Cool.
No, I don't think we've done shows with ska.
No, I don't remember one.
You guys have had such big milestones since the last time we talked. I forgot about punk rock bowling. I remember looking at like the pre-flyer thing on the internet. Pre-flyer on the internet, sure. And I was just like, sure. And I was like, is it fucking Mobina Galore? And it wasn't like at the bottom, like right before and more. It was like,
I love that.
We were right in there.
I don't know, you guys are getting on those posters now.
It's such a jittery feeling in your stomach when you're like, oh my god, our name is not the smallest.
I got goosebumps talking about it.
We're on the poster. Punk rock bowling was weird. I used to listen to Youth Brigade, and it's the drummer, I think, that started the festival, or the Stern brothers started the festival, and I'd like try to get on that festival for a couple of years just over email, and they'd always written back to me like, hey, like, cool, I'm interested in, like, probably the last time we were on this, we like emailed them, and they're like, yeah, it's cool, but maybe next year, try next year.
Feeling broken hearted with my head in my hands. Have you ever started to feel time slipping away? Breaks my heart, but I won't let it tear me apart. It's not too late to try again. We're back at the start. You won't be replaced by anyone else. This is way too hard.
I'm sure
big
there's a
shout out
good
to Sam
segue.
Thompson for letting us do these stupid things. Because,
Thanks so much, Sam.
Because Tony and I have now done 4. This will be our 4th one. Two of them were usable. One of them, we just, like, it was a nightmare.
Which one was that?
That was us with, those nice boys from Screaming at Traffic.
Yeah.
We kept yelling about batteries and
Combos.
taquitos. Oh, combos, yeah. Anyway.
Nice boys.
I just sung on
I
a song
love
for
those
them,
guys.
actually.
Sorry?
I just sung on a song for them.
Really?
Yeah.
You sing on every record.
Okay. Now
Yeah,
we've
so
got...
I say no sometimes.
Why do you gotta make it sound like that's a bad thing,
No,
though?
it's a great thing.
This is a great segue into the Winnipeg scene, supporting one another. Obviously, the boys of Screaming at Traffic have been doing that. Well, outside of their previous projects, this is kind of new for them. They must have been hella stoked to get you on the record.
Yeah,
How did you find that experience?
Well, I've known Jacques for a little while, just like through
Big
music
shout
and
out
stuff.
Jacques.
Yeah, shout out to Jacques.
Him and I used to work at Stella's.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I feel like this is like the project for them. They're like the kind of like the hardest working band right now in the city, like really trying to just like
They're
get their
grinding
shit
out the
together.
tour,
Yeah,
they're getting their shit
totally.
out to college radio. Yeah.
And so Jacques and I've just kept contact over the last few years, and he'll like ask me for my advice on shit or just opinions on stuff. And he's like, "Hey, we're recording an album. You want to sing?" I'm like, "Sure." Like, and he actually like sent me the lyrics. It was like instead of just like, "Hey, can you sing?" and then you show up and you're like, "What am I singing?" Because just because you like sing in a band, it doesn't mean that you can just sing on anything.
Sing?
Yeah.
Yeah, Tony,
And so
take notes there. All right?
Some people, you're in a band, you can't sing at all.
No, it's true.
So I was like kind of prepared, like kind of sung, like tried to kind of remember the words, because anyone who's producing and engineering and stuff is different as well, and they're pros. So I was like, I had no idea what I was getting into, but it was fun. I was prepared. They were prepared. It was very professional, and I haven't heard the final project because they're still.
Yeah,
I think they just finished mixing and mastering, but it's
they're
it's
still
fun.
in the
I
mix,
really do like singing on people's stuff. I think it's fun, but like I also never know what people's expectations are, because it's like, can you come sing on this? It's like, well,
Define
like,
sing.
That's just
right.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you
What are you expecting out
want
of
me to
it?
do?
But, okay,
Like
as
Cancer
an
Bats, I was
illustrator-
like, this is kind of terrifying. But luckily, I didn't know them, so it wasn't like super intimidating meeting them as people. Like I knew what Liam looked like just from photos and stuff.
So you
And
think
it
it'd
was
be
like,
more intimidating? You said luckily you didn't know them. Wouldn't you think
Like-
you'd be good if you did?
wait, what?
You said luckily you didn't know them.
Yeah, like
But when
visually. But when you just know what people look like in a band, like you've been watching them or following them and you just know what they look like, and then you see them and you're kind of like
Oh, I see, I
starstruck
see.
in that
Yeah,
sense.
yeah,
like
yeah.
it was kind of like, hey, nice to meet you all for the first time. And you want me to sing
Right.
on this? I'm like,
Those
sure.
guys
Like,
are also, the nicest guys.
oh my God, the
Everyone in
nicest
that
people
band is
ever.
a fucking
It's like
sweetie.
so nice.
Yeah.
so nice. Like we were both there for the gang vocals,
Yeah.
and Liam's up there and he's just like orchestrating everybody, like, and then he's like, "This is the happy song," and I'm like, okay, the happy song, and then it comes on, and she's like, "Bleh." We're like, define
Well, that's
happy.
the happiest Cancer Bats song.
Yeah, and it was like the one
happiest
about
Cancer Bats
Winnipeg,
song.
and they're just like so fucking stoked on Winnipeg, and just wanted like a bunch of Winnipeggers. There's like probably 12 of us singing gang vocals and stuff.
Yeah,
It was like,
awesome.
yeah, I think it's super fun.
But have you been approached for a project and you get there and you're like, you clearly don't know who the fuck I am? Like, as an illustrator, I'll have people reach out to me and they're like, can you do this? I'm like, you can go on my Instagram, you can see my fucking online portfolio, you know that's not what the fuck I do. Why did you ask me to do this?
No, that
No.
has never, that
You
hasn't
don't
happened
show
to
up,
me.
nobody wants you to do like a
Opera,
nice...
the opera.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
Well, I was specifically asking for an opera I'm working on, but that's under wraps. That's deep hustle right now.
if they're looking for like proper vocals, I'll be like, well, you do know that Marcy is a incredible singer. It's true.
Of Les Mis.
Of Les Mis, of
Shit,
like
yes.
whatever.
Ah, right, this is getting good.
Anything that belts.
We'll network.
Belts it out.
We can network after this.
Okay.
I'm seriously working on an opera/musical.
Okay, great.
Half of it's francophone,
I could get by.
The other half
Excellent.
is Piglet.
and the
So
other
it's going to be a bit weird.
it's actually called Cochon Latin.
Well, it depends what
Oh,
province you're
okay.
in.
That's nice. One of my dreams is to sing in a musical or like be in a musical.
All right, we can work.
Do you need
that
someone
for
with a
sure.
broken ankle?
We can make that a part of
Always,
it.
always.
Yeah.
You can always write it into the script.
It's pretty easy going, much like this podcast.
Yeah, she slipped on the grass. Yeah,
But you gotta be willing to recreate the grass slip, I guess, and then break your ankle again.
Well,
Oh my god.
I would do it very slowly. Wait, what?
And
As long as we
break
can
your
get
ankle again.
Dr. Ames in, let's get him in. You want to
Oh
be part
my
of a
God.
musical?
I gotta regular punk rock doctor. What was that? Right after I broke my ankle.
You're whatever. You want another martini?
I wish. I finished them.
Couple Percocet, another martini. We'll talk about my fucking whatever ankle.
I had to wait a week and a half to get into a surgeon to see it, and his name was it David Ames, and we're just talking about the deal. He's like, this is bad, you have to have surgery. And then I was like, okay, here's the thing, we have a tour booked for 2 weeks from now, or whatever it was, 4 weeks from now. What do you think? And he's like, oh, you'll be fine. I used to sing for 10 Foot Pole. You just do this, you'll be able to drum in 2 weeks.
I used to sing for 10 Foot Pole.
I was like, what?
And then I was like,
and
I was like, sorry, Mark's
I'm from LA, but I moved to Winnipeg.
Let's talk about
a surgeon.
You know, those Americans coming up here stealing all our fucking jobs.
Every time.
Every
we should have a wall.
Educated piece of shit.
We should have a wall.
Just a really tiny one, though.
As long as I can go see bands in Chicago, Minneapolis.
You just kind of like,
right?
Look both ways.
Hey guys.
Roll over.
And these past doobies back and forth.
Somebody took a pickaxe and Trump's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame last night.
I saw that.
Oh no way! That's awesome.
Like in the Klein's been fucking with the star for a while, and people keep doing it, but I did not know this about the Walk of Fame or whatever. But apparently they could just replace those stars like nobody's business.
Oh, it's already back.
Yeah, they just
really?
And some guy showed up a
doesn't
guitar
surprise
case
me.
last night, walking to Hollywood Boulevard, took it out, took his pickaxe out, and just beat the fuck out of this thing. Like, destroyed it, and they had it fixed, like, I don't know how many hours.
Well, Indecline just last week put up a bunch of stars in the name of people murdered by the police throughout the past couple of years. Like, put in their own stars, which is pretty cool.
Right.
Alright, this is I'm not too worldly. This Walk of Fame is, to me, just famous people get things.
You have to sponsor it somehow. I think you get to pay like $70,000 or some shit to get on the walk.
But to a charity, right? Like it goes to a charity.
Oh, I'm sure.
Or it goes to
charity.
Cocaine. Or,
yeah, that's a charity.
Everybody's throwing in 70 G's for cocaine.
It's a bunch of coke for Jerry
Bruckheimer.
Bruckheimer. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Jerry Goff, you
You
go.
leave Jerry Bruckheimer the fuck out of this.
Classiest of Hollywood charities.
Okay.
All the classiest Hollywood charity, Jerry Bruckheimer, cocaine fund. I like it.
How do we segue into the next topic here?
I was trying to figure that out.
I'm just trying to keep myself occupied. I've been thinking about you all the time. If there's nothing that hurts and there's nothing to gain, you've been slowly slipping further away. Just trying to keep myself occupied.
Obviously, a lot of recordings have happened since you guys, and this is a direct quote from the website. Hold on here.
Oh,
My
shit.
fucking research is
Direct
Our
quotes?
website?
This is all me. Sorry, Marcy, this is weird.
It's gonna be great.
Since you recently released the awesome Bad Love Song video back in episode 90, obviously a lot of fucking recordings have happened in the interim. Why don't we talk about a little bit of those, and then we'll get into some merch stuff too, because I have many questions about what I can buy before I leave the house today.
Ooh, I like that.
Yes, hustle.
Well, I guess we'll just go straight to the most recent. Hey, Dylan.
Hi, Dylan.
This is our roommate, Dylan.
Dylan!
You want to tell us about,
Your best Las Vegas story.
Best Las Vegas story.
Ooh.
You can come closer so
Yeah,
I can get you.
you want to be a microphone.
Go get a beer and come back.
With a bunch of beers.
There's a beer right here.
Yeah, have one of these and tell us your best Vegas story.
Okay.
The internet is,
And then
I don't know.
and
Waiting
then
for you.
It exists.
I'll go. 30th birthday. There's a number of people there.
In Vegas?
A bunch of people.
Okay, so there's
Yeah.
more than one person in
Four
Vegas.
or five people hanging out.
I think the final number of Winnipeggers was 28.
I think it's Winnipegians.
Winnipegans.
Winnipenago?
It's a religion.
Sorry, Dylan.
It was fun. We got wicked drunk in a pool. And then we were leaving the pool. And I was dating this girl from Toronto. And she was there as well, but she wasn't at the pool. And we were all leaving. And I put on my clothes.
As one will do when exiting the pool.
Stumbly drunk. And my friend Neil booted me back into the pool. Full drunk. And my phone was in my pocket. And so that was done.
It was probably like a flip phone
Yep.
back then, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was a long time ago.
20 years
And
ago, when we turned 30.
right, yeah. Hilariously, it was almost 10 years ago. And so that didn't work, and I did not know this girl's number. I didn't know what hotel room I was in. I didn't know any of it.
But she was like your steady girlfriend.
Yeah, it was,
Like you guys were going steady.
it was Laura Taylor.
Sweater vests,
Yeah.
Letterman jackets.
Yeah.
Yeah, going steady.
Wearing your ring, all that kind of shit.
Yeah, so my friend JR, the previous night, had drunkenly at 4 o'clock in the morning ordered one of those scooters that old people get.
Segway?
No, like
the one you
that
the one
thing
you sit on
with
with
the
like,
basket.
the
I
I
basket
don't know why
in front.
I'm motorcycle
basket.
motions. And yeah, he's cooling down the shit.
Yeah, and so it like got delivered to his room at 8 in the morning, and so he was riding that around all day, and so he decided to rip me around the entire hotel. Somehow I had just gotten rid of my wet clothes, so I was just in a
Swimwear?
just in my swimwear, no phone, looking for my girlfriend and my hotel
In
room.
all of Vegas.
And like he's ripping through the hotel, and like every 15 feet, sir, you gotta put on some clothes. Sir, you gotta put on some clothes.
Did you like put some money in the slot machines or?
That's a standard thing.
That's a very standard. I understand. That's my only memory.
So
so you had a
your
good
friends
time.
probably
Yeah, it was
have
great.
better stories about you from that
Oh,
time.
Yes.
that's
Like, you
true.
don't even
Yeah.
remember
That's
them.
true.
Yeah. At one point, there was a guy that didn't look like a security guard. That was like, "Sir, you can't be in here without a shirt." And JR just did a super tight circle around him just to
He's
piss him
making
off.
the donut motion for those of you following along at home.
The donut
That's
motion.
like JR.
Oh yeah, JR's great.
JR's a good
But
guy.
if you got a friend named JR, you hold on to them for sure.
Don't let them go.
Big shout out to JR and Calgary.
Big shout out
Yeah.
to JRs around the internet. If you're listening, we support you. Give us an email. Send us some money. My cat likes expensive cat food. He's got
Is this
kidney
a-
issues.
Am I on a podcast?
Yeah. This was
Oh,
We're in episode 300 something, so they got to dig through the numbers in order to find you anyway. So, but we will credit you, Dylan. Absolutely. Vegas, Dylan.
Vegas.
I like how you're like, I ditched my wet clothes, and then you're just wearing a wet bathing suit. It's still wet clothes.
No, you can
But
the
they-
bathing suit dries quick.
Oh, it's a dry wick, is it?
Speedo.
Oh!
Oh, fuck, this is better.
okay.
I thought this was board shorts. This is
No,
cool.
man, I was in Vegas.
And they don't ever wear board shorts in Vegas.
I'm pretty sure they wear board shorts at weddings in Vegas. Between
Different pool.
flip phones, Vegas and 30 and JR, obviously till now some recordings have happened.
Yeah.
See, I'm getting good at getting back on track.
Don't let me forget you. Why did I let myself give in this easy? Anxious and waiting. I felt the pull and grabbed a hold. Try and see. I'm on the outside, watching in silence and in anger. Can't be. I know I'll suffer through this. I hit a wall. I found something I can't put down. I made it out. I won't give up. I'm fucking sick of all this doubt. I made it out. The pressure building. It's on all sides and it infects me. I can't breathe. Remove myself from you. Question it all. I'm second guessing. I thought I knew me. Don't let me forget you. Why did I let myself give in? It's easy. I know I will. I know I'll suffer through this. I hit a wall. I felt something I felt with doubt. I made it out. I won't give up. I'm fucking sick of all this doubt. I made it out. I hit a wall. I felt something I felt with doubt. I made it out. I won't give up. I'm fucking sick of all this doubt. I made it out. I hit a wall. I felt something I felt with doubt. I made it out. I won't give up. I'm fucking sick of all this doubt. I made it out. I made it out.
Let's go about that development. I mean, sonically, obviously, evolution has happened. There's been growth personally and stories to tell. Fucking suck it to the internet.
Suck it to him, Jen.
Suck it to it. Suck it to it.
Suck it too. Well, I suppose the most recent thing we released, I'll speak on that. Fade Away. It's always like release like pressure to have a new album out. It's like you want to tour all the time, but we've been to Europe like 5 times in the last
So
2 years.
blasé, right?
And
Touring Europe, who needs
well,
it?
that's what the Europeans think now. They're like, all the people that have been seeing us from the beginning, they're like, do you have anything new? We're like, no, but like, you keep wanting us back.
we're
So
just
we're
really
coming.
partnering in there,
Yeah,
so-
Do you have something
Something
new?
totally new.
Have the right songs when you're watching SVU? Like, I mean,
Oh, my mind's occupied, Tony. Have you watched these crimes happen in front of
listen,
your
I
very
used
eyes?
to watch it way back.
Oh,
With
here
Ben
we
Starr,
go.
Okay,
Tony's making up stories again.
It's true.
Oh, did
Tony's
you?
making up
Jerry
stories.
Orbach was on this
Yeah.
show,
No,
man.
that was the original Law and Order.
That's
You
when I
pull it
stopped.
together.
I got rid of Jerry
You pull it
Orbach.
together.
He was in the corner. I was the fuck out. That was
Hey,
it.
they had a guy who looked like the original Casey Jones on SVU for many years. That's a
It
fact.
just looked like him. Eh?
He did, yes. It was a heated debate between a friend and myself, and we no longer speak. Mike, if you're listening to this, you were right. He wasn't Casey Jones.
It was him.
Come home. Please come home.
It was Casey Jones.
It was not. No, it definitely was not.
No.
Casey Jones was played by another guy who was
Cotes.
Elias Cotes. Thank you very much. Not
Not
the other guy.
Joey Cotes.
Yeah, Joey. Anyway, again with the new
Joey
album.
Cotes Jr.
Feeling
It's like-
disconnected?
It's not new. No, it's not new. That's old. That's old news now.
Right, but we
I feel
haven't.
like-
I was just assuming that's what he was talking about. We didn't all have a new album yet.
No, well, I mean, okay, so you guys are touring Europe, right? You got to turn Europe, and everyone's like, "Viva on some new stuff."
Right,
That's
there we
new
go.
Stuff. That's where we were at.
Yeah. Right.
I
And then we're
snap
like-
a lot. I
Okay.
smoke really long
Right.
And
cigarettes.
then we're like,
So the soon-to-be new album.
Soon to be new album.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so that
good.
wasn't happening. And then so we had one song that was like completely finished, and so we went in with John Paul Peters, JP, who we've done our last 2 records with. And hey, here's a story about that. So that was so we just decided let's just do a single and just whatever, like kind of fill the void between now and a new album. And do a video and stuff, and so we went into the studio, and that was the first time ever in the studio that I've like, it was kind of like, okay, vocals, here we go, and I started singing the vocals, and I just started bawling my eyes out, and I was like,
Oh my god, I forgot.
yeah, and so I was like singing.
That was the song that was about me.
Yeah, that was the time that she's singing about you.
I wrote a love song
Got it.
for Vegas Dylan.
Vegas Dylan and the Missing Speedo.
I mean, I'm going to cry about you later on.
It's called Vegas Dylan. It'll be
Yeah,
released next
yeah,
month.
yeah, right.
The worst Hardy Boys novel ever.
I've been
Vegas
waiting
Dylan.
Fade
for
away,
this. I didn't know that it was
invisible
happening.
brackets, Vegas Dylan. And so I'm like in the studio, or they're in the control room, and we're like having, we can see each other, but I can kind of hide if I wanted. So I started singing, and I was just like, kind of like started crying, or whatever. I was like, this is fucked, like, and then I was like, Mars, can you come in here for a second? And just like stop singing, and then Mars comes in, and she's like, what's going on? And I just like, like started downpouring, and it's like, for me, the most like personal song that I've ever written, and until you go into the studio and start like really like picking apart the pieces of a recording, for like lyrically, I was just like, this song is fucking sad as shit. Like all of our songs are pretty depressing and sad. Like we don't write happy love songs or whatever, but I was like, thank you. Got like just really thought about where I was when the inspiration for that song came about, and was like, holy fuck, like that. So that was, for me, was just like a crazy experience, and I think just kind of like made the song what it is now. Like it wasn't, there was like, that song is just like totally real. The vocals, the recording of the vocals, there's no doubles. Like on our albums, a lot of people like will double, triple the vocals and stuff like that, and especially as a duo, it's like you kind of want those layers.
Yeah.
And I didn't even like need that. So you go back in the control room, and I was just like, sorry, I just got like really emotional. And JP's like, oh, no problem. And then it was like, from there, it was just like no production, no direction, just like, I was like, should I shorten this word? Should I do this, that? JP's like, just fucking sing. Like this is like real. This is proper real studio vocals right now. Just like
You
do
are
this.
Adeling the shit out of this.
I
right
was
now.
Adeling the shit out of it, and just like, and I honestly feel like we got
the most
such a,
Adele way.
and I feel like we just got such a good. So, anyways, for me, it's like, I don't know. I feel like that song just kind of, it was one of those
You're
songs in
proud
the
of it.
studio that I'm just like super proud of, and it just worked out in a different way than ever before, right? Like usually it's a little more picked apart.
Yeah. Well,
Even if you're punk rock,
in
it's
the
like,
recording process. Yeah.
you gotta-
It's the first time I ever recorded in a punk
it's gotta
rock
be
band,
real.
and somebody asked me to do it again. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I was like, I'd never been in an experience with somebody like, they was like, yeah, no, you do that again. I was like, oh, no, this is punk rock. I don't do things again.
Well,
anyway,
here's the thing about
costs
that.
us a lot of
I
money
feel like
to
it's-
put the label.
It's totally fine to do a bunch of takes. We do all the time.
Of course.
With our vocals, because you want to be comfortable listening back to it yourself. And a lot of people, especially in punk bands, aren't like trained singers. A lot of us can't even really sing at all, but like we try our best because it just feels good to do it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it's okay.
Says Les Mis over here.
Okay. I've hit a sharp note in my... So I think that there's no shame in like a bunch of takes and just like trying and practicing in that space enough to be comfortable in what you're putting out there and what you're hearing back.
Right.
I
right.
agree. Yeah.
And obviously you two have gotten comfortable in doing what you do. I mean, okay, well, before we started, we were talking about the entire last episode you were on. You're like, that's some shit I'd like to forget. But for me personally, like, I've never come across anything you two have put out that I would ever like to forget. And it's always easy when you take yourself out of a situation to forget that as you grow as musicians and as people and throughout your experiences that you don't necessarily like the shit you started.
You kind of like put stuff behind you and continue to move
You
on.
guys didn't want to even give me your first the CD.
You're
like,
the EP.
Don't talk about that, Tony.
So listen, and I was like, "This is really good. What the fuck?" You're like, "No, it's not that good."
Dude, it played over and over in the car. That and the Stand Strong, or no, that's fucking Icon Down, fucking. Yeah, Split. Like that entire summer. Those are the only 2 records we listened to. You gave it to Tony before anybody else. I know this for a fact because I got in the car and Tony said, "Hey, listen to this." Fucking.
Oh no, that was the second one.
Oh, is that the? No.
No, they gave me the second one before everybody else. Here, you can have this.
You don't gotta whisper. I already yelled at the internet.
I was on the fucking way to get tattooed, and I had it like plugged in my car, and I was like, "Oh, I pulled it into the fucking parking lot." And I was like, I was like, Jesus Christ, what the fuck is this? This is so good. But even the first thing was really good. I mean, it is.
Nice.
Well, come on. I mean, whatever. We played it.
Come on.
The first time I meet you guys, we're playing with you guys, and like, I have no idea who they are. And then you guys.
When was that again? I always forget when we met.
At the Cavern.
Big Fun.
Anybody ever give when they met Tony, it's like marked down and like, Dear Diary, today I met the shittiest human being in the world.
Don't ever go to this place again.
Do not ever go back to school. Sincerely, Ryan. And then I never went back. I got a grade 9 education. Tony yelled at me a bunch, and now look at me.
Here I am.
I work like 3 jobs.
Now you're running a podcast. Look how good you're doing. You're like a leg up.
Yeah.
It's true. Podcasts are super hard to get on.
I'm looking for
it's like
some
the
work.
elite strata of society who can run a fucking podcast.
The first time that we met, you guys played right before us, which that was stupid because you should never play before us.
I was probably standing there like,
Not true.
like
My
just
buddy,
so fucking nervous
Clay
about everything.
walked up to me. He's like, "Good fucking luck following this." And I was like, "Yeah, I know. We're hosed. Like, we're totally fucked because they're way too good." And like that's something.
Because Union Stockyards, like you would have been at the beginning of your career, right?
Pretty much. We just kind of got dumped into that. I think someone backed out of that festival that night or whatever, and then they just got us to play the thing.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Oh, was this during what is it? The Big Fun?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was
The
big fun. Yeah.
Yes. Is it called the Big Fun? I don't follow. I don't
Just
follow the Big
drop
Fun.
the
This fly-by-night festivals that have been going on for like 5 years or whatever. You know. Good for. I just like to actually give like a big support for the Big Fun Festival because there's not a lot to do in this city in the depths of fucking winter, and it's really nice to have people out there. I mean, have I ever gone? No, because there was one year I would have to see you, and then the rest of us leaving my house past sunset, which doesn't happen. Especially winter's the best for that. It's like 4 p.m. I don't have to leave the house.
That's what
I'm already in sweatpants.
Yeah, what I dig about Big Fun, but also I feel like as a band who wants to be like a working band and kind of do it as a career, you really have to I'll grab one while we've got it up there. Wait, are we almost out of this now? I just feel like I'm all about learning about everything in music that can kind of help advance you as a band if you want to kind of work with it.
Right.
Be a working band and Manitoba Music puts on a workshop that weekend, and then Big Fun they kind of teamed up on that weekend. So a lot of bands, like a lot of punk rock or hip hop or hardcore or anything that's like a little bit outside of just rock and pop, just don't waste their time with Manitoba Music and Big Fun and stuff like that. But for me, it's you need those allies, and you need to learn shit from other people where where people will be like, "Oh, that's not punk rock." I'm like,
anything else, right? So why couldn't
how
you
is it
learn
not?
from people in that wheelhouse?
So I volunteer with Manitoba Music on the January music meeting, it's called, and they get people in from all over Canada and from the States and stuff to talk about all sorts of shit, any aspect of music, the music industry, and a lot of it is total bullshit. And sometimes you need to learn that it's bullshit in order to be able to succeed at it, because you can see the bullshit and you can move through it and pave your own path. And I don't know, I think it's kind of fun, the Big Fun Fest and
Big Fun.
Big Fun. I don't know. I'm all about it. It's like just, especially in Winnipeg, it's like fucking cold, and then middle of January, like who the fuck wants to do stuff?
Yeah, when they asked to play, I was like,
and then people
what the fuck
actually
is this thing?
go and
January?
do stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Like, okay.
Yes, why not?
And I mean, obviously a venue festival, which has to be done in January in Winnipeg. Outdoor January music festival.
Yes, at a hockey rink.
At a hockey, so it's extra cold?
Yeah, at Cinema
then you
West
got
Community
this-
Center.
Wait, what was that?
Well, we're doing an outdoor music festival at Cinema West Community Center in January. In the snow.
Wait, is this wait, I'm
Yeah.
confused. Are we creating a festival?
Well, I think we are.
Oh, okay. All right.
I'm not gonna play.
So
Sorry.
down by the perimeter, we're gonna play.
No, we're naming the festival after you.
No, the name of the
It's
festival.
a no fun fest.
It does. The Mobina Snowlore. It's just we're playing the snowbank.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Oh my God,
I have known you a long time, and that was the
I like
quickest
that.
pun you've ever come up with. And I gotta say, getting old looks good on you, man. For sure. I was
Snow
yeah.
lore. Oh, that's funny.
Okay, so
Is this thing still on?
what's it? Yeah, no, it's definitely still on. Here's a buzz on the internet. And I didn't want to bring it up, but I heard back patches are coming.
Oh, shit.
I read that on the internet somewhere. It's from an unfounded
I thought you were going to ask
source.
what our band name meant.
Oh.
Or like what it's like to be a girl in a band.
Oh, okay. Well, first of all, we will get into all the Alanis Morissette questions afterwards. I want to know about fucking back patches. My vest is already good with my orange cheek patch, but I got a jacket that needs a patch.
That's so
when
funny.
can the
Hey,
people expect the back patch?
well, there's going to
My
be
hand.
3
Well.
other people because you're going to get one before you leave. Segue into
Oh.
merch.
Hot damn! Let's talk about merch.
You're going to have to like patch on yourself though,
Let's
right?
talk
Like,
about merch
you cool
because
with that?
y'all motherfuckers are DIY like fucking hell, right?
Well, Jenna designs everything and like.
Right. And I know for a fact that
And I watch
I
this
have a
movie,
hat
so
that
if
a lot of
that's what
people.
DIY is, then yeah.
Someone's got to
DIY
Keep up.
SVU.
Yeah, she does it herself. She turns on SVU, she turns off SVU.
DIY SVU.
shakes her own martinis. It's good. It's a good system now.
So obviously, like,
Turn it up! I
I
can't
can't
hear
hear it on the
Mariska.
ice. I can't hear Jerry Armack.
Tony shaking martinis on frozen after talking about fucking Jerry Orbach. That's my rap for the day. I get one rap a day.
Prozac and Jerry
Yeah, my
Armack.
roommate said you can't have more than one rap a day. You do it in the shower, but today I waited. I didn't shower today. All right. So
I was gonna say me neither, but I did. So
Okay, so you
Sorry.
talk about merch. Yeah, wait.
Yeah.
we briefly
there was a
touched down
pause
on
because
merch.
we're all sipping.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
going
do
on
you want
yours.
to tell me? Okay, what about what does your band name mean? Or you've been asked that 500 times and I probably
No, I know. That's why I'm joking. I don't want you to ask.
Yeah, those are the questions we're going to get into, man. Dave Coulier is who the song's about. Look it up.
I checked it out.
Google Dave Coulier. I guarantee you, he exists.
No,
No.
they didn't know.
Oh. No, they're not.
Jackalope is real. Dave Cooley is alive.
The jacket. Oh my God, is that America's video
Yeah,
reference?
he used to
Good
have
for you. Good for you, Tony. All right, so if people, let's say, are still listening at this point, and they're like, hot damn, we need to hear more from the band and not the two fuckos running the thing. Where can we find all of your information, including upcoming tour dates, which I believe begin in August when you're all healed up?
Yeah.
August 29th. My birthday's the 31st. No big deal that you're leaving town. It's okay, I'll send you emails.
That'd be nice.
We'll
Once a
have a
week.
drink for you. Beep, beep, beep.
That's me typing, if you can't tell. So
With a
yeah.
typewriter.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, how do you type, sir?
I don't type.
There you go.
I dictate.
What's that?
I dictate.
You dictated, not read. I assume they have fact checkers for all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, fact checker, check on Tony, make sure that he's not typing. Anyway,
Yeah.
to find information, let's say music,
yeah.
all sorts of fun stuff.
I want to say like website and stuff, but like no one gives a fuck about a website. Really?
This is literally aired on a website. Don't break
like
the tiny heart.
well,
More
well,
people
I
don't
think
care
that's-
about websites.
I think
You're
that's-
accurate.
I
That's an accurate
think
statement.
that's maybe it's different. I don't know. Like we're all in music, but I think it's different. The fields we're in.
Right, absolutely.
And I would imagine like I don't ever go to somebody's website. I go to their Facebook or like basically to
that's
check
what
likes
you
or
see it.
yeah.
I'm so internet proficient that I heard website and I was like, the entire internet is a website.
No.
That literally went through my head.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, scrolling through the socials media, I'm like, so there's this, is this. But yeah, I mean, I keep everything.
Ryan's dying, guys. So
Alright,
I'm gonna
alright,
go
He's
phone
back.
up.
He's back.
Also, I just realized I stink. Like I'm singing through a hoodie.
Like what?
Like body odor.
Oh,
dog. Like what?
What could be onions?
I'm gonna put this word with onions. We'll talk about after the show. It's not so funny as it is a story.
I can't smell it from here, so.
Okay, good. Well, we'll make sure everyone gets a good smell.
I mean, everywhere. Like, you Google our band, and that's fine.
Just
pick
Google.
whatever you want.
Yeah. So Google's a thing. If you're not aware, you type in www.google
with 2 O's.
2 O's, 2 G's.
You don't even need to do that. You just say Google. You just type Google.
I just say
Or you
Google.
just say Google.
That would be, we're
Hey
moving
Siri,
to a terrifying
Google.
world
Oh,
where
I don't
just
want
say
to be
Google.
just saying stuff. Oh, fuck.
I recently got, okay, I'm going to do that. Tour information, music, Google Mobina Galore. That's what we're going with?
Yeah. Wherever
Alright.
you find your stuff. Like, that's...
And we all know what the name means, so we're
Like,
going
I'm
to
not
delve
on
into that.
whatever.
You know.
Yeah.
I guess for us, if you wanted to find anything else from us, we've got our website. You can just Google Witchpolice, to be honest with you. It's the only fucking
Right?
thing that comes up, except for
Exactly.
like an obscure article about people hunting witches in Africa in the mid-90s, which is interesting, so read it. We've got all the podcast things on the Apple and the Googles and the recently Spotify. We're living in them now.
Shit.
So if you know you're presumably a youth and you have the Spotify, you can find us on that as well. Tony, you've got a band, probably, still at this point.
Yeah,
and maybe a month or so
band.
before this interview comes out, so maybe Tony doesn't have a band. Who knows, but why don't you plug your shit?
Signature's on there somewhere on that poster.
Damn, Tony.
That was our...
No,
that
he
was
dictated that signature. Somebody else wrote it
Yeah, I
down
told
for
you, right Tony in there.
Siri, right, Tony.
And she did.
It's
I
going to
love
be worth
Siri.
money
Like a
sometime
boss.
with your signature on there.
Plug my shit?
Yeah,
Hey, we put our stuff on the internet like a bunch of big shots.
Oh shit, you guys got Spotify recently too.
We're on Spotify.
What's the name of the project?
Oh, well, we're called Union Stockyards.
Oh yeah, the Union Stockyards?
No, just Union
Just Union
Stockyards.
Stockyards.
No, there's no dog. Get the fuck out of there. We're on the Apple and Spotify.
What about the IBM though?
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
We're on the Bill Gates network. Just, I don't know, find our shit. If you like some screaming idiots, you'll probably like our music.
You'll like it.
We are also aired. I should probably mention, the people who support us in doing our endeavors. We're also aired on UMFM, not the other one. Sunday nights at midnight. We fucked that one up one time. And
We
we're also
drink a little bit during this.
sometimes we do. I don't know if you can tell, internet, but go fuck yourselves. That's it for us.
Bad love song, satellite radio.